The Hydrobox is part of a hydrosplit system and is connected to the high temperature outdoor unit. When you unbox the Hydrobox, do not cut the box open to get in. The unit itself has very little in the way of protection and is easily damaged if you use a Stanley knife to open it up. Cut the straps on the side of the box and the lid will lift off, and then the sides of the box can be removed. You will find the installation manual in the top of the box, and also within the box you will find a small blue plastic bag that contains the Wi-Fi LAN adapter for the unit. It is easy to lose this within the packaging, so please be wary that it's in there and put it to one side to keep it safe. This unit is heavy, and some Hydrobox unit can weigh in excess of 50 kilograms. Before you mount the unit, the first thing you must do is remove the yellow blanking plugs from the pipework connections at the bottom of the unit. These plugs are easily forgotten and missed on installation, as they can be quite difficult to see once the unit is mounted to the wall. Before considering mounting the unit, please be mindful of clearances that the Hydrobox requires. It must be mounted a minimum of 1,150 millimeters from the floor to the bottom of the unit and have a clear 200 millimeters minimum above the unit. The other thing you will need to consider is that once the front panel is removed, the inner electrical section hinges out like a cupboard door and will require 500 millimeters of clear space in front to allow this to happen. Please make sure the wall surface is flat and capable of taking the weight of the Hydrobox before installation. The bracket to hang the Hydrobox is located within the box and can now be mounted to the wall. Simply use the two slotted holes in the bracket to fix this, and then you will notice that there is a diamond-shaped hole in the upper mounting part of the bracket. Make sure that you've drilled a hole and put a plug in before lifting the Hydrobox into place, and we will fix through the unit to secure it once it's hanging. Once it's installed, we can remove the front cover. There is a knurled retaining screw on top of the unit that should come undone by hand. If it's too tight, a posi screwdriver can be used, and now we can pull the cover forward and up to remove it. Once the cover's off, you will see the electrical switch box. We'll look in here when we get to the electrical section of the course. There are two screws, top and bottom, on the right-hand side that must be undone to enable this to hinge forward. This then gives us access to the hydraulic components. The black section at the bottom has the MMI interface built into it, and there are two retaining screws that need to be undone before hinging this part down. Here you will find the slot to put the LAN adapter we found in the box earlier in the blue bag, and this then gives us access to the pump, the drain point, and the PRV pipework. Once we have access to the inside, we can remove the insulation to get to the hydraulic components. First thing we need to do is find the hole in the back to put the screw in for the hole that we drilled and plugged in the wall when we hung that bracket. Whilst we're here, we can see that the Hydrobox contains a magnetic filter, a PRV, flow sensor, flow switch, temperature sensor, backup heater, the pump, and an expansion vessel. There are two automatic air vents, one on top of the magnetic filter and one on top of the backup heater. These must be manually opened and left open to vent any air from the system. For the PRV, you will find a flexible hose that goes to the bottom of the unit. There are a few solutions to getting this discharge to a drain or outside. Some installers like to use a 28 to 22 millimeter reducer under the unit. From the factory, you'll get a little plastic elbow that comes out of the discharge hole. Alternatively, you can connect pipework straight to the discharge hose using a Jubilee clip. When it comes to piping up the unit, think of this as an inline pumping station. Using the Hydrobox allows us to get much larger distances from the outdoor unit to the cylinder. So, from the flow of your outdoor unit, we connect this straight to the water in connection. The water then travels through the Hydrobox and is pumped out of the water out connection. From here, we can then go to our diverter valve and connect to the cylinder and space heating circuits. Wiring, commissioning, and basic fault finding of the Hydrobox we will look at later on.